Hi and welcome to another 5-minute session, and this time I'm going to talk about color mix or mix color. Since we used masking in the last session, this will be the next natural step. So I just go to the color mix directly by pressing Shift A, go to color, and here you have mix color. Mix color is a way to mask things a bit easier because you can control how much you would like of the top one and how much you would like of the bottom one. And the top one, that is the 0 here. So if something comes in and it's 0, then it's only the top that counts. If something comes in and it's white or 1, then it's only the bottom part. So if I put this to like yellow here and I put this to blue here, if I take the result here, it will what? Yes, it will be blue. So if I release it, you can see it's blue. If I change the factor to 0, you can see that it gets yellow. And then you can mix between yellow and blue depending on how much you put in on this factor here. So that means that this is a perfect way to add in a mask here, a black and white or a grayscale, and then mixing these two together. So let's say that we take this gradient that we used in the last chapter. So I just drag to UV and I just write gradient texture here and take that factor in here. Then you can see it goes from yellow, which in this case is the darker part from the beginning in the factor here, to white. So I can just do like this. So the darker part here, that gets yellow, and the brighter it gets blue. So when I put it in here, you can see it blends. So all the things that you learned in the last session about masking, you can use here to create different things. You don't need just color. You can of course put in texture here as well. So let's say I use a checker texture, then I just select texture and checker texture, put that in the top here. I can change this to be like red and green, for instance. Really ugly combination of color now, but you can see we have mostly red and green here, and then it fades out in blue here. And I can put another some texture here like Voronoi or something. So Voronoi texture, put the color in here, and you can see it really mixes together these things. Okay, but what is this more than mixing stuff? Well, the power with the mix color here is that you have blending modes. So you can mix them in different ways. You can take, like now we mix them. That means that you use a portion of A or a portion of B depending on the factor. But you can also darken, which means that you use A to darken the color of B and so on. And you can see it gets much darker here. You can see that A is the one that decides. So A darkens B. You can see it's rather, it's many here. I don't know how many, but we have a lot of these. So it could be hard to understand all of them. But you also have lines. So mix is just mix, but then you have one line here, one line here, one line here, one here, and so on. And that simplifies things because everything here, that is darken. So darken, multiply, color burn. All of that stuff, it darkens the result out. Then next here are like lighten. So everything you use here brightens up. So now we lighten the B color with the A color, and you can see now that it gets really bright here. It's less bright here because now we really brightens things up, so to say, with the checker texture here in this side, since that is more white here with the factor. I can just show it. So there we have the high blend, there we have the low blend. So that's why it gets really bright in this side. And then just continue. So next thing, overlay, soft layer, linear light, those are to smoothen things out. Difference is just to make it opposite or exclude stuff and so on. And the last one is to convert red, green, blue into huge saturation, color and value, which is another way to show colors instead of just using red, green and blue. I can go through them later on. So that is the mix color, and there is some more to talk about when it comes to this, but for these 5 minutes, this is what you get. So hopefully you use that in a good way, and I see you tomorrow. Bye for now.